you possibly be Israelite. You gotta come back to the law, statutes, commandments, and repent as a Hebrew Israelite. Cause we ain't playing no games out here tonight, man. Right? Give me the book of Romans chapter 13 to verse 11. Right? Give me the book of Hosea, right? Chapter 4 and verse 1. Right? Because at the end of the day, man, we come out here to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's right.
The so-called black Latinos and Native Americans, man.
Right.
Right? And everything else is abomination.
That's right.
Right? Because, hey man, this place is going crazy. Right? We got homosexuality month going on. Right? Hey, how you doing, brother? Hey, brother. Hey, brother, give me 1 second. Hey, brother, are you busy? Hey, brother, well, is you too busy to get destroyed? Because that's what's gonna happen to you.
That's right.
But hey, but our people too busy though. Hey, but let's see him why he shouldn't be too busy. That he need to slow down and get time. Look at him. Look at him. Hey, bro, can you pan that camera, bro? Look at this. This is what happens though. That's what happens, man. When you're too busy for the Most High, you help your enemy, man. Right? That's the thing, man. Right? Bring this out, King. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11.
Bring it out.
In fact, knowing the time, our brother don't know the time, right? Why don't he know the time? Because he's too busy to find out his heritage.
Right.
He's too busy to find out what God's requirements of us is.
Right.
But yet, he got enough time to stop and help his oppressor. Right? Go ahead, King. That now, it is high time. It is high time to wake out of sleep. He need to wake out of sleep, man. Right? Because he don't even realize that what? For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Hey, wait, hold that right there. And give me the book of Ecclesiastes 4:1. Right? Because we got to realize what this brother just did, right? Our brothers don't understand what's going on, man. Right? He didn't realize that it's high time to wake out of sleep.
That's right.
But he don't even understand why it's high time to wake out of sleep. Go ahead, bring that up. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 1.
Bring it out.
So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun. So he need to return and realize all the oppressions that have been done to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that's been under the sun. Keep reading, King. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed. Hey, because the tears of us that were oppressed was great, man. But our forefathers did not ever stop crying and whining and going through that oppression, right? Go ahead, King. And they had no comforter.
They did not.
And they had no comforter, because who comforted our forefathers? Right? Who comforted our forefathers when they was getting beat from can't see sun up? Let me see this. When our forefathers got beat from can't see sun up to can't see sun down. Right? Look at his back, man. Look at the keloids on his back. But yet, we had no. Hey, start right there from that part again. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 1. So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun. Right? And because all the oppressions that was done underneath the sun, right, happened to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? Hey, how you doing, brother?
How you doing, brother?
All right. Hey, can I ask you one question real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
2 seconds. Hey, what is?
Go ahead now.
Well then, hey, brother. Well then, that's not even a respectful thing. See, and that's the problem, man. He don't. And look, go ahead, King. Down there was going. And he don't, bro. But you know the thing of it is, though, is why wouldn't you understand, though, by hearing what the words of the Most High said? So go ahead and start from the top, and we're gonna go ahead and do this again. Right. This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 1. Right. So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun. Hey, so you gotta take and think about all the oppressions that's been done to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans underneath the sun. Right. Read, King. Slide. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter, and on the side of their oppressors there was power.
There was what?
There was power. So we got they got the power right now, man, because this is their kingdom. Right? So they have all the power to do whatever they want. Right? And how y'all sisters doing? Can I ask y'all a question? So according to history, right? What people have been oppressed more than these people right here? And that's a great answer, but sis, you have to find out who you are in these last days, right? Because if you would have known the scriptures, you would have found out that there's no such thing as black people. That's a fictional thing, right?
That's right.
Right? But they have all the power. Finish that off, King.
But they had no comforter.
And we have no comforter, man, because who's comforting these people? Right? I'll give you time to go ahead and address that. Who's comforting the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans?
Come on now.
Right? Hey, sisters, can I ask y'all a question? When we get pulled out of a car, right, on a routine traffic stop, who comforts us from getting killed, raped, robbed, and murdered? Right? See? And our people don't have that motive, right? Go ahead and bring that out, King. Right? Hosea 4:1, right? Because at the end of the day, man, hey, we're looking for that comforter, right?
That's right.
But the thing of it is we're not going to find that comforter here. Right? That comforter is not here.
Right.
So we got to come back to our heritage to get that comforter.
That's right.
Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Hear the words of the Lord. So like, hear the words of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
Hey, and that's the reason why that we get done the way we done, man. Right? Because there's no truth, there's no mercy, there's no knowledge in this land, man.
right.
So therefore, we continue to get oppressed. But it's not just anybody, though. It's God's chosen people, man.
right.
Right? God's chosen people get oppressed. Why? Because we don't want to come back to the Most High God. Watch here. This is a prime example. And you got 2 seconds to find out who you are in the last days. And that's one thing. You got to come out of that spirit, King.
That's right.
And that'll let you know, though, because there's no truth, no knowledge of God in this land. Keep reading, King.
Come on, verse 2. By swearing,
By what?
By
By
swearing,
swearing. Go ahead.
and lying, and killing, and stealing, and committing adultery.
They commit what?
And committing adultery.
Go ahead.
They break out, and blood touches blood.
Hey, and they say, well, I ain't selling nobody wife, right?
Right.
But they don't even understand through the scriptures, though, when you break it down, adultery is also going to be spiritual adultery.
That's right.
Worshiping other gods, right? How you doing, brother? Hey, can I ask you a question? Do you know your nationality?
Great question. I'm good, man.
See? And he's good.
Everybody
But,
think
but it's only one person that's good,
That's
though.
right.
And I'm pretty sure nobody can equal up to that person.
Nope.
Right? But our people just continue though and go with that ideology, right? Right? And drop down to verse 6. Verse 6.
Verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
No, I'm good, brother.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
No, I know what I'm talking about.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Go ahead.
Because they has rejected knowledge,
That's right.
I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Hey, and look at that. And he said, because you forgot the law. And how you forget it? Because you reject it.
That's right.
We asked brothers, we try to stop them. Say, hey, brother, you know who you are according to the scriptures?
Right.
Hey, they don't even want nothing to do with it.
Nope.
But there's no knowledge in this earth.
Nope.
Watch this. Hey, brothers, how y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? So can I ask y'all a question of history real quick? So in history, hey, what has happened to the so-called, see? All I want to do is ask you a question. Pick up. So, hey, so in history, right, what has happened to our forefathers throughout history? Has there been any oppression within our history? So, how about if I tell you that the Bible is a history book, right? And it tells the history of one nation of people. Like, bring Ecclesiastes 4:1 out real quick. Watch this. Let's see if this. You don't leave them. Yeah, come. And because, hey, this is a great thing because I know we've been taught that this is a religious book, right? We told that this is a book of all other things, but actually this is a history book of one nation of people. And we're just trying to link it up and see like who can relate to this book. Watch this.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 1. So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun.
Right? So he said, over here in Ecclesiastes, King Solomon said he's returned and he saw all the oppressions that have been done underneath the earth, right? Give me the book of Daniel chapter 9 and verse 10. Go ahead.
And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter.
Hey, so he said the people that had tears that were oppressed, they had no comfort. So look at the people that's on this list, right? Who's comforting these people throughout all their oppressions? Right? So let's see what else he said.
And on the side of their oppressors, there was power.
And there was power on the side of the oppressors. Hey brother, listen to this going out the way. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws. chapter 9 and verse 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants and prophets. Yea, all Israel have transgressed our law, even by departing, that they might not obey the voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servants of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. Verse 12, and he had confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heavens have not been done as had done unto Jerusalem.
And that goes back with that right there, right? The oppressed, right? And that's why I wanted to bring that out, but the brother didn't have patience to stay. Because he had understood that, hey, we have nobody been oppressed like this oppression, right? Who's comforted nobody. But then there's been no judgment like unto this people, right? Ever on the whole face of this earth. And what's your nationality? Hey, what's your nationality? Come here real quick, brother. Let me talk to you real quick. Come here. Give me 2 seconds, man. See? Hey, you might be. I ain't gonna even, cause hey, you know what I'm saying? Cause hey, you can't, man. Right? So hey, so give me the book of Psalms chapter 82. I'm gonna say verse 2.
Bring it up.
Right? Because hey, at the end of the day, man, hey, our people just continue to walk by, man.
Right.
Give me the book of Sirach. It's Baruch chapter 2 and verse 28. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 82. 83 or 82, right? This is the book of Psalms chapter 82 verse 4.
Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked.
Of the what?
Of the wicked.
And this is the tears from the oppressed, man. Right? This is the tears of the oppressed that continue to go through these things. Why? Because they're oppressed by the wicked, man. You got to be wicked to want to kill children as well as old folk, man. Right? But keep going.
They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, and all the foundations of the earth are out of course.
What did he say?
All of the foundations of the earth are out of course.
And that's the reason why we out here, man, right? Because we dealing with this out of course foundation, man.
Right, yeah.
Right? Most High brought us out here to deliver the truth back, right?
Right.
To deliver the course, to put it back on course. Right? Because at the end of the day, man, right, this place gonna continue to do that. Hey, sisters with the dress, y'all got 2 seconds? Let me ask y'all a couple questions. Come on now. Right? Because at the end of the day, man, right? Hey. Hey.
Right.
Carl.
Right.
Like Carl, hey, I'm in the middle of teaching, King. I can't go up there. Right? So, hey, all praises, man. So at the end of the day, man, hey, we're here to put this place back on course, man. Right? We're here to go ahead and prophesy the downfall of this place. Right? But we also here to let our people know who they are according to the scripture.
Teacher!
Can you give me the book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 28?
It's the book of Baruch chapter 2 verse 28.
Bring it up.
As thou spakest by the servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, if ye will not hear my voice,
If you do what?
if ye will not hear my voice,
Right? Because, hey, you gotta find out who that voice is. Can you give me the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 10? Right? Or it might be 8. Right? Because we gotta find out who the Lord's voice is, because God's not coming down here, man.
Right.
Everybody want God to get off his steps to him. Right? They want him to come down. They want him to deliver the message. He's not delivering anything.
Nope.
He's gonna deliver punishment.
right.
He's gonna deliver his son to just straight kill people,
That's
right?
right.
Go ahead, King. This book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God. No, they want God to get off his steps to him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God. They want him to get out of the comfort of the third heaven. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his way and his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. By the prophets. Hey, by the prophets, man, right? The servants. That's why I love that verse, because it says the servants first. Because you got to be servants, man. So let's go back to where we were at.
verse book of Baruch chapter 2 verse 29.
Bring it up.
If ye will not hear if ye will not hear my voice, surely this great surely this great multitude shall be turned into small number amongst the nations where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me.
No, they're gonna listen.
For I knew that they would not hear me.
And he knew it, man. Give me the book of Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. He knew they weren't going to listen, man. He knew they weren't going to listen, man. Right? Right? Because you know what? We are hard-headed people, man.
That's right.
We don't want to listen.
That's
and then
right.
when we tell you God's chosen people,
Right.
you're the greatest thing on earth.
Right.
Like, you don't even want to, you ain't got no time.
Nope.
Right? Because he said my sheep hear my voice, man.
right.
Right, go ahead. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The ox nor his owner, right, which is a very unintelligent animal. Go ahead. In the ass, his master's crib. But Israel, but Israel, doeth not know. My people doeth not consider. And you don't even consider, man. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all don't even consider who y'all are. But yet, you will walk hand in hand with your enemy. You give cigarettes to your enemy, right? But that's the same enemy that beat your back in from can't see sun up to can't see sun down.
That's right.
Right? But it's okay though. Right? And it's because he said it's been a long time ago. Right? You are forgiven. Oh, it's been a long time ago. It's okay. You can continue to beat my back in. Right? If I beat your back in, would that be okay? See? 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 You can't make this up, man. But yeah, it's okay for us though. Right? It's okay that we're okay with the back then beat in. Right?
Forget about your history.
Forget about the history. Look at that guy's back.
Damn.
Look at the keloids on his back, man.
Damn.
But that's okay though. I saw you looking down there, Esau. You've been listening for a while.
Yep.
Come up here, man. So you got any questions? What's your question? So,
Speak up.
What are you trying to promote?
so it's not that we're promoting anything, right? So God said in the last days, he was going to actually allow his truth of the Bible, right? He was going to allow the truth of the Bible to come out. Right? Can you give me the book of John chapter 8 verse 32? Because he said that in the last days, the truth of the Bible is going to come out. And he's going to let all the earth know. Right? Can you give me the book of Revelation?
Teach up. Teach up.
He's like 22. You said what? Revelation said,
That's right. Love being present.
Come. Right, come. This is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32.
Bring it up.
And ye shall know the truth.
What'd he say?
And ye shall know the truth. And the truth shall make you free. And the truth shall make you free, right? So the truth is going to let you free, right? Right, so he's saying that at the end, right? When the end, the world starts to show its colors, when you see the foundations is falling off, right? He was going to allow the whole world to know the truth of the Bible, right? And once the truth of the Bible came out, then he was going to start judging it. That's why you see the American money situation is collapsing, right? That's the reason why you see the food industry is collapsing,
Right.
That's why you see China rising up, because he said nations will rise against nations,
That's
right?
right.
When the end comes, right? Yep.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 14.
Bring it up.
And this gospel of the kingdom.
What did he say?
And this gospel of the kingdom.
Right, and that's not Christianity, right? That's not Mormonism, right? That's not Jehovah Wickedness. That's not Baptist, Pentecostal, right? It's not Catholic. He said a copy of book. Hey brothers, how y'all doing? Y'all got 2 seconds real quick?
No, I ain't got
2 seconds?
I'm sorry.
And y'all might be Israelites, King. Right, go ahead.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
And where?
In all the world.
In all the world, right? Not just America, not just China, but the whole world. Go ahead.
For a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come.
And then what?
And then shall the end come.
And then shall the end come, right? Because everybody's, teaching false doctrines. They're not teaching the Bible.
That's right.
But the Most High said in the last days, He's going to send His servants out to teach the truth of the Bible, to teach that the Bible wasn't for everybody, that everybody can't get salvation, right? That only God's chosen people can get salvation, right? You want to bring one more, and then I'll let you ask another question.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 5. For many shall come in my name.
What do you say?
For many shall come in my name.
That goes back to all those religions that I was talking about, right? You got Pentecostal, you got Baptist, you got Catholic, Mormon, you got all them. So many shall come in the Most High's name, and what?
Saying, I am Christ. I am Christ.
Or servants of Christ, right? Go ahead.
And shall deceive many. And shall deceive many.
Right, because they said that everybody get a chance at eternal life, right? But yet, do everybody? They don't, right? So you got any questions? Is there any more on that? Come.
Verse 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Now that's what you see right now. You see China, right? China and Taiwan. You see Russia and Ukraine, right? Wars and rumors of war. Now they even starting to tie in America.
That's right.
Like, oh, we know that y'all supply weapons.
That's right.
So y'all might be tying in.
That's right.
So now they tying them in. Go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
And they got to come to pass, right? So all these things got to come to pass. Go ahead. You got another question? Go ahead.
You're talking about Jehovah. You're talking about Joseph.
Talking about Jehovah, you know what I'm saying?
You're talking about Joseph, yeah, then Joseph, Jesus Christ.
So we're talking about Jesus, right? He only came back from one nation of people. Did you know that? Because
You're talking about
Kemet would be actually so-called Egypt, which is Africa, right? What's your nationality? On your father's side?
what also.
Okay, so you would not be white, right? Because the bottom of his shoes would be white. His shirt would be white.
That's right.
Right? So I'm going to show you who your lineage comes from. Because everybody has a lineage, right? So first give me you got a precept? Go ahead. Bring out your precept.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men, whereby we must be saved.
So it's only one name that you can be saved, but it's only one nation of people that can be saved by that name, right? So give me Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 16, right? Because I want to show you that there was no end of all the people, and I know people lie, and they say that, oh, well, you're white, they call us so-called black, Indian, right, Cuban, but we can't find these terms in the Bible. So we're out here to teach the truth of the Bible. We're out here to teach people who they are according to the scripture.
That's right.
Right, go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 16. There is no end of all the people.
Hey, brother, y'all just came back. Can y'all stop now? Can y'all stop now? Ah, brother. Okay. Well, brother, if you ain't supposed to be out here, brother, then you need to go home, brother, before you get in trouble, man. We love you, brother. I love God.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 16. There is no end of all the people.
Right, so if there's Edomites in the Bible, right, then there's Edomites still on the earth right now.
That's right.
Right? If there's Israelites in the Bible, there's Israelites still in the Bible now. Right? If there's Ishmaelites in the Bible, then the Israelites are still out there. Wait, let me finish this. And what's your nationality, brother? Colombian, Italian? What's your father?
Sicilian.
Sicilian? But we have people over there, man. Right?
Acts 10.
The Bible. Hey, so do you believe in the Bible? Do you believe in God? Do you know who the Israelites are? So, in your history, right, are you from over in that area? From New York? So have your grandfather or father ever told you of any slavery of any type? Of any oppression of their people? They haven't? So yeah. Because I know we do have people that are of that bloodline. Right? So, I mean, I just tell you, hey, dig into it, brother, because we're out here using Most High willing every Shabbat, every end of Friday. And so check into it, brother, and come back, man, and holler at your brothers, man. You live in this area? Hey, brother, stop by and holler at us, man. Yeah, man, because you may be our people, brother. You may be our people,
That's
man.
right.
And if you are, you have to come back to the law, statutes, commandments, man, and repent. So, all right, so you too, brother. Right, so back to you. So, right, so we have to find out through the scriptures who your forefathers are, right, and what judgment they're gonna get, right? So he said, "There's no end of all the people." Right, go ahead.
There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them,
Even that's been before you. Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all know your nationality? What's your father's nationality? Give me 2 seconds, brother. Give me 2 seconds real quick. Give me 2 seconds, right? Watch this. Watch this. So what if you went and signed a job application, what would you put on that job application? Your father. Would your father be a so-called Puerto Rican? A Cuban, so-called black man? American black? American black, right? So can you find that term in the Bible? Can you find that term in the Bible? And the only reason why I ask that is because I know you see what's going on in the news. I know you see the wars and the rumors of wars, right? Right? Bring up that Matthews again. Because you gotta hear this. Y'all gotta hear this. Because look, do you want to get destroyed by thermonuclear fire? Do you want to feel what a nuke will feel like on your forehead? So how do you come from getting that feeling and escaping that punishment? It's only one way. You got to come back to your heritage. Right, watch this.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
And this talking about the churches, right? Because you got all these pastors. If you got, let's just say 1,000. If you got 1,000 churches on 1,000 corners, right? Why isn't the end come? Because he said literally that he's going to come when this gospel is getting preached to all places of the world. So why hasn't the end come if you got over 1,000 churches all over the world? Haven't Christianity been taught in the whole world? So it should be over. We should be in the kingdom.
That's right.
Right? We all should be sitting back, kicking our legs up, no war,
That's right.
no fight, no hunger, right? But we're still in the same place. And do our people got it good, or do we get oppressed? Do we get oppressed? Because if God loves everybody, why do one nation of people get treated a lot better than another nation of people? Right? Does the so-called white man, do they go through the same thing we go through? See? Exactly, right? So if it was over, right, then they would, right? And sister, listen to this real quick.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
Right? So these churches, right, they've been preached all over, right? But yet, we are not delivered. And he's saying in the Bible that the end will come when this gospel will teach to the whole world, right? Watch this.
And shall deceive many. So do what? And shall deceive many.
Because they say that everybody gets saved. Everybody can be saved. But the Bible doesn't say that. Watch this.
And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Ukraine, right? Ukraine versus Russia, right? You got Taiwan against China, right? And now they're tying America in. Now you're getting BRICS against the NATO, right? It's all been, now these are all the wars and rumors of wars because it's going to be a huge conflict coming up. But watch this.
See that ye be not troubled.
Don't be troubled. Why not be troubled? Why not be troubled, sis? I'm going to show you. Watch this.
For all these things must come to pass. For all these things must come to pass.
And watch this. Give me the book of 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. Watch this, sis. Watch this, sis, because all these things must come to pass, right? In order for the end to come, because there's probably hundreds of thousands of churches across the world, right? And of course, all those hundreds of thousands of churches, Christianity's everywhere, but yet the end hasn't come. They've been teaching Christianity since you can remember. But why isn't the end here? Because the truth of the Bible have not been taught. Watch this.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently.
So we got to measure the time diligently, right? We got to kind of see, like, he said there'll be wars and rumors of wars, right? There'll be sedition of men, right? There'll be mother against daughter, father against son, right? All these things have to happen. Watch this.
In itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass,
the wars and rumors of war, those times are passing. Go ahead.
Which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou will understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Even from the beginning.
Because if we go in the Bible, right, since like when the Most High actually starts to wake you up in the truth of this Bible, then you will start seeing that people say, oh, well, that's the Old Testament. Well, you know what? When Jesus was walking the earth, what was he teaching from? Was there such thing as the New Testament when he was walking the earth? No, it wasn't, was it? So he was teaching from the Old Testament, right? And Testament just means covenant. So the Old Testament is clearly nothing but the Old Covenant. He has to make a new covenant. That's why he came and did the New Testament. So that's why I laugh when people say, oh, well, that's the Old Testament. Well, what was Christ teaching? The Old Testament. So this is when he was going to really start to test the world and judge the world, right? I'm going to read a little bit more, and then I got another question for you.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
You're at the end, sister. Watch this. So what's your nationality according to if you had to sign a job application? What would you put? You're black, right? Your father would be a so-called black man? Right? So now I got another question for you, right? So if I went in the scriptures and I look for the nationality of so-called black, can I find that in the scriptures? So then, what would you be called? What would your people be called in the Bible? Hebrew, all praises. So you know, right? So then, if you know who you are, is there any requirements of that knowledge? There isn't. Give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12.
Bring it up.
Because there's requirements. Right? This your wife, brother? All praises, brother. So do you know who you are according to the scriptures? You know who you are?
How you fellas doing?
You're doing well. Who are you, king?
I'm a king.
You're a king, right? Yep, you're a king. Right? But what's your nationality? What's your nationality though? Yeah. African? But you know there is a difference between the Africans and all the dark races, right? Can you give me my Bible dictionary on my bag right there? It'll be the back. Yeah, come. Because there's actually, he got it. Because there's actually a difference between the dark races, right? Because ultimately when we see a dark race, right, ultimately we go to like, okay, we're from Africa. But the Most High actually separated everybody. Can you give me the book of Deuteronomy? What you got there? Yeah, go ahead and give it 10 and 12.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, and to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments, to keep the commandments, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good, for thy good.
For your good, right? So he said you got to keep the commandments for your good, the Israelites, right? So I'm going to go and break that down, but I want to get the definition first of him. The brother right here. It was him. Yeah. Come. So watch this. No, it was probably brother and daughter. Another one of our brothers. Shalom.
Shalom. This is Zondervan Dictionary, Zondervan Bible Dictionary. The definition of Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
So you remember when the world flooded, right? So actually the world got rejuvenated from Ham, from Noah's kids, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? So there was 3 sons that actually rejuvenated the whole population of the earth. Go ahead.
And one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
Not the what?
Not the Negroes.
So you gotta ask yourself, why would they separate dark races and Negroes? So I let you know that the Hamites or the African people are not the same as the Negroes. Go ahead.
Khan, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites.
So there. That's a great question, right? Give me the book of John chapter 1 and verse 47, right? And that was a great question, brother. I love questions, right? Go ahead.
It's the book of John, chapter 1, verse 47. Yahweh saw Nathanael coming to him.
And this is Jesus, right? His name in Paleo Hebrew is Yahushai, because the letter J is only 500 years old. So you got to ask the question, how can a man that was older than 500 years ago name starts with a letter that wasn't even invented? So that's just a question that you got to think of. Go ahead.
And said of him, behold, an Israelite indeed.
A black person indeed.
An Israelite indeed.
African indeed.
An Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile.
So we're Israelites, brother, right? And that's what was going to show your rib right when you was walking up who the Israelites were, because she said she knew she was Hebrew, right? So that's why we brought 10 and 12 out, because in order to be Israelites, you have to keep the commandments, or you're going to get judged, right? So I'm just going to pull one verse out to show you who the Israelites. Can you get a book of Deuteronomy 28 and 68?
Bring it out!
Because at the end of the day, right, there was curses that was put on the Israelites. And how do you know who the Israelites are? Because they fit these curses. But this was the major curse that was put on the Israelites. And so, if this happened to the Israelites, tell me who would that make us today?
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right, so Egypt, right, means something. Do you know what the Israelites were doing in Egypt? Right? Give me the book of Judah chapter 5 and verse 11. Right?
This is the book of Judah, chapter 5 and verse number 11. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly with them.
So subtly is harshly. Dealt harshly with them. Go ahead.
And brought them low with laboring in bricks and made them slaves.
So Egypt is another word for slavery or bondage, right? So now we're going to read this prophecy and we're going to see. Yeah, go ahead, get that so we can break it all the way down.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. Salaki. The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse number 2. And it reads, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Egypt again, right?
Out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt just means bondage or slavery, right? Because if you look up the history of that word, right, that land was not called Egypt. That land was Mizraim. It was the land of Canaan, and it was the land of Ham. Because back then they actually named your land by the actual nationality of the people. So that's why Israel, you got the Israelites, I-T-E-S, right? The ice are the son of. You got Canaan, the land of Canaan was the Canaanites. The land of Ham was the Hamites. So the I-T-E-S just means the people or the son of, right? So that's what that was. There was no such thing as Egypt, because they know about the Egyptites, and there's no such thing as the Egyptites. Egypt just means slavery or bondage. Go ahead, King.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery, bondage again, with ships, with ships, with ships.
So how did the so-called blacks get over to slavery? Or slave ships, right? But did you know 150 years before the so-called blacks went into slavery on slave ships, the Native Americans and the Hispanics went to slavery the opposite way, to Europe, to Britain, to the island of Espanol, right? The Dominicans, right? They went over that way, right? So now you got two opposite ways, and these are all the same. Deuteronomy 28 and 15 down. Go ahead, King.
And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
You shall not see your homeland as well as the physical Egypt, because there's nowhere in the scriptures when we went back into Egypt or we went back to our homeland. Go ahead, King.
And there,
And once you get off them slave ships, go ahead.
ye shall be sold.
We shall be what?
Ye shall be sold.
And when we got off those ships, you already know, brother, who we were sold to, right? Who's we sold to? The Europeans, right? I mean, they make movies. 12 Years a Slave, Django, Roots, right? I mean, it's no secret. They're not scared, but we get scared all of a sudden. But we call each other niggas and everything else, right? But I'm just saying though, but we get scared when that will come out. Because everywhere we go in the United States, we get scared. We're like, I kind of don't want to say it. The hell with the Edomites, man. We don't give a damn about them, man. Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And now you see the reason why spiritually he made us our enemies. Just because we got the sun. What's the opposite of the sun? the moon, right? You got day, you got what? You got woman, you got what? So God deals with balance.
Well, it don't go that way sometimes.
It don't go one way sometimes.
The way that it's written.
It don't?
No.
Why you say that?
Supposed to. It's supposed to go that way. I don't give you a,
What?
don't give you a fight.
All right, come. No, you all right?
But times change.
Times change.
Times have changed.
Give me the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. We're going to see.
And the way that
We're going to see.
the world is moving. I'm not talking about you, brother.
No. I'm not. It can't though. And that's look. And you,
But even more about the book.
but look.
The book that
Yep.
everybody abide by it, right? Yeah, that's
Supposed to abide by it.
But then you got bad days.
Do? Because
What man wrote?
but okay, so can I ask you a question? No. So look, I'm gonna ask you this. So do you think that God's gonna come down from the third heavens and write a book? Let me ask you another question. Right?
How many copies you written?
So are you talking about translations? Because see, translations are different than written in the Bible.
That's right.
Every Bible starts with in the beginning, so they're all the same.
That's right.
The only difference is transliterations is actually when they actually read a little easier for comprehension. But they're all the same. And that's we have this conversation with people all the time because they think that Bible's been rewritten. No, God allowed things to be taken out. Why? Because he will reveal the Bible to you if you come back to it. You have to rely on this word. You have to start looking because look, I'm gonna tell you, all these brothers out here, right? The brothers that got ribs, brother, their wives are in subjection. Why? Because we gotta be under subjection, brother.
Right.
See, the thing of it is how can I have my wife follow me and I ain't approved to be followed?
Come on now.
See, we gotta hold accountability for ourselves, bro.
Teacher.
Right? See, we gotta make ourselves to be accountable because if I tell my rib, we gotta live by A, B, and C, right?
Right.
But then I'm not giving her nothing to follow. I'm not walking in A, B, and C. You think she's gonna follow me? You think she's gonna follow me out? I'm just asking though, true though, right? Right? So I'm telling you because look, my real brother, she follows me, right? My rib was a Catholic brother, right? But you know what? She saw me. She saw me when I used to hustle. She saw me when I used to smoke weed. She saw me when I used to lay women down, right? But then she saw the change in me. She saw me living by these scriptures, brother, to the best of my ability. She saw me keeping these commandments. Wait, let me finish, brother, and then you got the floor. She saw me living to these scriptures to the best of my ability. So then guess what she did? She took off the pants.
That's right.
She put on a dress. She put on the fringes, brother. And now she's just as powerful as I am in these scriptures, brother. Now it holds me to accountability to where I better study. Or guess what? Or she gonna be cutting me with the scriptures. So I just wanted to say that, bro. Go ahead, King. And I guarantee you, brother, because she knows she is a Hebrew already. So that lets me know she's been studying. So I promise you. That's what I'm saying. So I promise you, brother. So look, that's what I'm saying, but brother, look. So I promise you, if you put on the fringes,
These are my four daughters. This is our four daughters.
God, all praises.
By the same woman. I ain't got no baby.
God, all praises, brother. That's a
Let
blessing.
me tell you something.
God.
The woman that she is, she a motherfucking trip.
But look, but you know what
Nobody
though?
wanna talk about
But
that, though.
look, but that's Eve though, brother. That's Eve though, brother. I'm telling you, brother, all of our foremothers did the same thing, brother. If we right now, look, me and the brothers, we just have went over Jacob. He had 4 ribs, bro. He had 4 wives, right? And Jacob, all of them went through that. He went through it with all of them. Right, so I'm just letting you know all praises, man. And I'm telling you, Jacob went through it because that's Eve, brother. That's how Eve is. Because look, would you want a woman that you can walk all over? Because they got them. They got them. And look, and when we get with their women, right, we walk all over. Right, but then you don't want one. You want a woman with a backbone, bro. That's just, he got a precept. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 1. Blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife. Has a what? Has a virtuous wife, brother. Because look, she's trying to be virtuous for you, brother. But hey, you gotta clean yourself up. You gotta come back into walking in the spirit. Walk into your destiny, brother. Right? Come on this side with us, brother. Right? And come and be what your heritage is, brother. Because if not, you're gonna get destroyed by nuclear fire. And guess what? You're gonna get a double dose, and you know why? Because your rib is studying and you're not teaching her. You're supposed to teach her, right? Yes, it is. Why ain't it true?
I put my
Give me the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16.
Bring it out.
Bring it out. Hey. No, I'm going to show you, yes, it is true, brother.
Everybody chill, right? Everybody chill.
Because we know the truth, all these brothers.
Hear me out.
Watch what the Bible say though,
I'm
King.
not talking about the book, boy. Let me talk about my life. And let me just talk about what I've been through. Right? I'm not going to go on the mic.
Okay, come on.
Right? But I'm going to say this. We have a business.
Yep.
We have our own stuff going on.
Yep.
Right? 4 beautiful daughters, right?
Yep.
But it seems like once my wife starts making moves, she's in the nursery.
Yep.
Thing, right?
Come.
Right? Okay? A lot of disrespect start happening. It
Come.
ain't had nothing to do with me not taking care of my family as a man. Hear me out. No,
Because I gotta show you. No, I'm gonna show you something. No, I'm not gonna bring the law. I'm gonna show you that everything is going on in all scripture.
It ain't got nothing to do with a man not doing what he's supposed to do. What he got to do is that individual.
And okay. And that's part truth. That's part truth. But watch this though. Watch this. First, I'm going to bring up this. Watch it. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. What did he say? But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. So now we're finna, wait a minute, let me finish. So we're finna get into the order of things, right? Because I promise you, brother, she's going to get in subjection when you get in order. Because the Most High is going to put in her spirit to calm all that down. Trust me, brother, every man that got a rib, we went through that, brother. That's the only reason why I'm telling you. But my real strong, bro. But in order for her to get in subjection, she got to see that change in you. And when the Most High change you, he's going to change her too. Watch, I'm going to show you. But slide it. And the head of the woman is the man. So she's going to be her own head. And the head of the woman is the man. And sis, if he get his life together and get walking with the Most High, ain't you going to get an order? All praises. Watch this. And the head of Christ is God.
Go ahead.
That's it, right? So that's the order, right? Now watch this, brother. Because what happened is just the curses, brother. It's the curses. Remember I read 68? And I was going to ask you, so if that happened to our forefathers, slave ships, who would that make us? If the Israelites went to slavery on slave ships, right? But our forefathers went to slavery on slave ships, then who would that make us? Who would that make us, bro? I'm just saying, who would that make us, bro? No, I'm just saying, so who would that make us, though? If the Israelites went to slavery on slave ships, it was prophesied, but we went to slavery on slave ships. Hey, come here real quick, bro. Come on real quick. Come on. Would that make us the Israelites, bro? If they said that the Israelites would go to slavery, but we did, wouldn't that make us the Israelites? Wouldn't that make us the Israelites, bro? So we will be the Israelites, right? So watch this. This is the curses, right? God said that this is going to happen because we come back to the commandments. Go ahead. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. To all Israel. Now watch this. Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. It's black on black crime, bro. But this is prophesied that it was going to happen to the Israelites if you don't keep the commandments. Watch what else.
And toward the wife of his bosom,
And toward the wife of his bosom,
and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
which is a blessing, right? Because the Most High allowed y'all to have y'all both parents and y'all children life, right? But I wasn't raised in the house. He wasn't. And there was a lot of other brothers. Now jump down to 56. Watch this.
Verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness.
Right? Because our women, we used to cater to them, man. Back in the kingdom, brother, they were spoiled. So that's the reason why they spirit is like that. Brother, because it's all a battle of spirituality, brother. Right? No matter what you see, it's a spiritual realm going on. See, we see the flesh, but this is a spiritual thing going on. Right? Because we've been here before. That's deeper going in. But we've been here before. So all it is your spirit or her spirit being here before. Right? So this is where we've been here. But watch this.
Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom.
Right? And so that's the reason why that jealousy and that envy go back and forth. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm making this, I'm making this. Why? Because we're not lined up with the scriptures. When we get lined up to our heritage, brother, it's some crazy stuff happen, brother. Because you got brothers that's ex-drug dealers up here. You got ex-killers. You got ex-shooters. You got ex-thieves. You got ex-whoremongers up here, brother. That's that gave up everything, smoking weed and everything, brother, to be out here to die for the Most High word, brother. That's what you got up here before you, bro. And that's what I'm trying to let you know. So when you said, well, bro, I've been through this, well, guess what? I guarantee you, every last one of these brothers have to. And I know, brother. How did I know, though? How do I know? Because I know your spirit. I know you have. And, hey, and that's why the Most High brought you back pastor again, because the brother taught you, and then another brother taught. But
Every time I get over here, I get locked in.
like I said, I'm telling you, and it's because the Most High bring you by, because it wasn't your appointed time, bro. But this might be your appointed time. Like you will.
Con. The tender and delicate woman among you will not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes should be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter, and toward her young one that comes out from between her feet.
That goes into, like, you know, like when she have her kids, it's like, you look just like your damn daddy. You know what I'm saying? That goes into that. Because, you know, we've heard it many times. I know, you know, my mom didn't do it, but I know a lot of my friends' moms that used to do it because their parents were in their life. Right? So I know this brother said he had a precept, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you say what you got to say too, King.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches.
Right? And this is going, actually, because we're two or more gathered, God's in the midst, right? So he said, let your woman, right? God. So he said, let your woman, right, keep silent in churches. Basically saying, like, hey, when you getting taught, right, she's going to listen, but then you have to break it down for her, though, bro. You have to go home when she be like, hey, well, when he brought out this scripture, what did that mean? That's your obligation and duty to your wife, right? Because it ain't like the Christian church where you got to go, she got to go to the pastor, and he's going to counsel your wife. What's our obligation to you? Our obligation to you is exactly what we're doing, right? Like, give me. Go ahead. All right, so give me the book. Right? So you said, what's our obligation to you, though? Give me the book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Right? Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinance as I delivered them to you.
So we delivering the ordinances to you, right? Which is the law, statutes, and commandments, right? And all Paul in this passage is saying is like, hey, just as we keep it, just like I told you, like I know what you're going through, right? Because we ex-drug dealers, right? We ex-gangbangers, we ex-shoot on our people, stomp our people out, right?
That's right.
So he said, just as you probably been through some of them things as well, right? Follow the Most High and His Son, just like we follow the Most High and His Son. That's right. That's what Paul was just saying. So that's one of our obligations to you, right? Let's go into another obligation.
How's it going, King? Good night, man.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
So he said, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, right? So what's the opposite of hate? Love, right? And what's love according to the scriptures? Give me the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 2. We're going to show you, brother. He said you should not hate your brother in your heart, right? The opposite of hate is what? Love, right? So now we're going to show you what love is, and this is what we're doing to you.
Verse 2. This is the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God.
So now first, in order to love God, first you got to love the children of God, right? Go ahead.
When we love God and keep His commandments.
So now you love God and you keep the commandments. Now we're going to tell you what the true love is.
For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments. That we keep His commandments. And His commandments are not grievous.
And His commandments are not hard, right? So he said, do not hate your brother in your heart, right? So the opposite of hate is love, right? So love is what? What did he say love was? Read that again real quick.
For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments. That we keep His commandments.
So what's love according to the Bible? Keeping the commandments, right? So you can tell your wife that you love her all day, But if you're not keeping the commandments, guess what? You don't love him, according to the scriptures. Because love is keeping the commandments, bottom line. And the reason why why God allowed the Bible to be written, because the Bible was that line that you know what was right. Anything that's outside of the Bible is not right. It's wrong. Because God only deals with that balance. Remember I told you that? That balance. So either this is true and everything else is a lie. Bottom line. This is the judgment stick of which everything has to be weighed and measured.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Open rebuke
Is what?
is better than secret love.
That's another thing that we out here to do. To let our brothers know that, look, we love you, brother, and if you do anything, that we supposed to correct your ways, right? And it ain't an open rebuke ain't always a bad thing, right? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Talk with me 15 minutes.
Definitely.
We have not once looked her in her eyes and talked to her.
You know why? You know why? Because we're supposed to deal with the husband.
That's right.
That's older, brother. Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a quick question. Let me ask you a quick question. What happens? Because that's your wife, brother. That's your wife, brother. Brother, this is your wife, brother. Look, listen. Let me ask you this question. So when you go into the Christian church, right? What happens when the pastors be secretly counseling their wives behind the scenes? What happens? No, answer your question. No, you gotta answer it with me. No.
Peace out.
When does it come a time?
What you mean?
They gotta take accountability too.
I mean, and that's absolutely true. But guess where they gotta take accountability from? With your real, guess who accountability she has to take for it? You, brother. You gotta teach her. You gotta get built up so you can teach her. It's not my job to teach her real. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, now I can build them up. Now I can build them up. You know why? If they came into our congregation, now we can build them up. You know why? Because their head would be Yahushua, which is Jesus, right? So they would have no head. So then that way they can come in and all of us can teach it. But because she has a head, I don't go to her. That's off, brother, according to the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm going to you. Because you notice, but look, wait, look, matter of fact, I'm going to show you how much respect and love I have for you. I was teaching your wife, right? But as soon as you walked up, what did I ask you? What did I ask you? And what did you say? And instantly, did I talk to her anymore? I went right to you, right? Because I have to, brother, according to the scriptures. Because I only deal with the scriptures. I don't deal with nothing else but the scriptures.
That's right.
So that's all I'm telling you, bro. This is the order. And that's why we out here. Because the whole, give me the book of Hosea. Well, give me the book of Psalms 82, what we were at before, 82 and 4. Because this world is off, right? Finish reading that.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is Yahweh. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonors her head.
And that's going into, more commandments, like, she got to have her head covered and all that, right? So, but it's just, we're out here to establish the law, right? And that's all it is, because the end is coming. And the end is coming, but the question is, who are we coming to establish the law for, though? Are we here to establish the law for everybody?
Come on now.
We're not, because the law isn't for everybody.
That's right.
The law is only here for the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites, right? So that's why we stopped you, right? Because he was built. I was going to tell him who he is according to the scriptures, but we're commanded to come to the highways and byways and build the sheep to the marriage.
That's right.
Right, and the sheep is the Israelites, right? So what I have you hold? Go ahead.
This is the Psalms chapter 82, verse 4. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand.
So our people don't know not because we don't realize that this earth is wicked. We think that everybody's supposed to get along, that it's a melting pot, it's a love thing, right? But was it love when that happened? Give me that second sign.
Right.
The second. Was that love?
Come on now.
Was that love when that happened?
Come on now.
Yeah. Was that love? But then they'll say it's so long ago, but really it's only been like a couple hundred years ago. That's really not that long. This is it's only a couple hundred, right? But watch this.
And they walk on in darkness, all the foundations of the earth.
And wait a minute, and before you finish that, right? So it said walk on in darkness, right? So can you see when you're walking in darkness? If it's completely pitch dark, can you see? And that's what they said in this passage. King David is really saying that hey, this earth is all in darkness and nobody can see. They're walking in utter blindness. Watch this.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
He said all the foundations of the earth are out of course, right? So I'm gonna get 2 more precepts, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and pass to the next speaker, right? So give me the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, right? Because we gotta get back to the thing, right? At the end of the day, brother, right? When we was made, when God made us on this earth, what was the whole duty? Was the duty to try to get the greatest 401k, the biggest house, the fanciest car, the flyest kicks, the coldest whip,
That ain't it.
the hardest bang,
Nope.
right? The coldest chain, right? Was that it? It wasn't it, right? That's all materialistic. So let's see what the whole duty was.
This is book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13.
Bring it out.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work, brother, every work. I'm talking about everything, brother, even every word that you talk to your brother, like all that's going to be brought. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Go ahead, kid. Go ahead.
So I had a conversation with a guy I worked on.
Yep.
They said when you're born, you have an ending.
Everybody does.
So they say you can show on your ending.
Right? And you know what that's called? Judgment. Right? Can you give me the
I
book?
don't understand how my wife is going to just 3-month-old grandchild. Right? I'm being disobedient. I know I'm challenging. This is just how who I am. I'm not questioning the book of the word. I'm not questioning it. But at the same time, I'm just not going to listen to what anybody says. If it's something that I'm thinking about, I got to get some understanding.
Come, right? And that's beautiful, right? So we're gonna bring out these 2 precepts and then we'll have another one that I got. And then we'll try to pass to the next speaker. Go ahead, King.
Book of Nehemiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. And said, I beseech thee, O Lord God of heaven, the great and terrible God.
He's always loving hugs and kisses.
The great and terrible God.
Cotton candy and teddy bears.
The great and terrible God that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him. That love him.
He said he keep mercy for them that love him. How do you love him? He said he keep, wait a minute, you gotta answer that question. He said he keep mercy for them that love him. How do you love God? How do you love him?
I mean, I don't go to the building.
No, I'm saying, no, the building ain't got nothing to do with it.
So the question was, how do I love him?
Right, how do you love him? Because we went over that, we just went over that.
I pray every time I come to bed.
But is that how the scripture say? Cool. Right, because, okay, so you said you pray, right? Right, but how do you be obedient? Well, that's part of it. 1 John 5 and 3. Yeah, but watch this, because we actually, it's a specific way that you love him. Because then we're going to go back to that Nehemiah again, and he's going to reread it, and then you'll have like understanding. Watch this.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
We do what?
That we keep his commandments, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
His commandments are not hard, right? Right? So, how do you love God? You got it. It was 613, but that's good, yup. 613. You gotta keep the commandments. gonna go back to where he was, and now we're gonna find out why he's great and terrible, right?
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 1, verse 5. And said, I beseech thee, O Lord, God of heaven, the great and terrible God. The great and terrible God.
He said the great and terrible God. Give me the book of John, chapter 9, verse 1. Right? No, great. But you gotta keep going, bro. You gotta keep going. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, because there's just a little bit more on that makes it to make the sense.
This book of Nehemiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. And said, I beseech thee, O Lord, God of heaven, the great and terrible God, that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him and observe his commandments.
And observe his commandments. So he had mercy for them to keep the commandments. Right? Hey, come, bro. Hey, come. Hey, you got the flyers, right? Hey, bro, all I'm saying, bro, is reach out, brother. Hey, bro, just reach out, brother. I promise you, brother.
Shalom, peace and blessings. Yahweh.
And nice to meet you, bro. Right?
Bahashem, through the name of
Both our cars, bro.
the Son, the one who saves.
Come on, bro. From the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and verse 1. Come.
Food meaning scriptures of
Come, brother. Right? Come. Hey, we're going to get these last precepts and then we're going to pass it to the next mighty speaker.
That's right.
I wish you didn't have to use the bathroom because that 9 and 1 is powerful.
That'd be good. Hey, look, Pum Yasharallah. That means God Israel in Hebrew. Pum Yasharallah.
Hey, and what's your nationality? What nation you from?
Yep.
Listen. What tribe?
Listen, from our tribe.
Come, man. Come, bro. Hey, bro, we looking for a call, brother. All praises. We love you, bro. All praises. My bring this last piece of time, I'm going to pass it next mighty speaker. So.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with fear. Terrible fear.
And your people are going to be troubled with fear. What kind of fear? Trouble with terrible fear. And your people are going to be troubled with terrible fear. Why? Watch this.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Salvation is being saved, right? Your people are going to be amazed at the salvation. Because why? Keep going, bro.
So far beyond all that they look for. And they, repenting and groaning for angers of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we have sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor.
And his end to be without honor, right? Hey, and nobody honors the so-called black Latinos and Native Americans. And with that being said, I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh B'Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai. Kom Yashala!
Pum Yasharallah.
Kom Yashala!
Pum Yasharallah.
Kom Yashala! And push that damn button! Hey, Shalom.
Audio Jungle.